on this episode of In the Rack Podcast.
They've put somewhere in the realm of probably 1.5 to 1.7 million into that club. That one alone, never mind the rest of Choice, but just that club alone in about a year and a half. They're definitely committed to making that place what it was like back in the heyday.
What you got?
Welcome to In the Rack Podcast, where we provide you with a practical framework for breaking PRs in all facets of health and wellness. We are just a couple of bros giving you the simple hows in a world of complex wants. No filters, no scripts, no rules, just straight talk.
Talk to him.
Now, let's get into the rack with your hosts, Dr. Chad and Dr. Nick.
All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of In the Rack Podcast. I am your host, Chad, and with me is my co-host, Nick, and my second co-host, Karyssa. She's joining us today because we have a very special guest for the podcast today. I've been trying to get this guy on the podcast for a long time, and the schedules haven't lined up, but they did today. So we have Derek Morgan. So Derek is the general manager from Choice Fitness, which is actually the gym right behind us. So if you're familiar with our location, if you go right behind us, that's Choice Fitness. It used to be Boston Sports Club. It also used to be Latitudes. And before that, it was Gold's Gym. Yeah, I was a member of all of them. Not continuously, and we'll talk about that today. But I definitely wanted to bring that up because some people are like, Choice Fitness, where's that? So now you know. But I also want to talk today not only about all the great things that they're doing over there, but I want to talk a little bit about Derek too. You know, I know a lot of things about Derek, but, you know, I want to know more, you know. So I think it'll be fun just to get to know him a little bit, as well as get to know the evolution of that gym, because if you guys all know, it went through a lot of changes in the last few years. And I will say that all the changes have been pretty awesome in the last, 2 years now. So I'd like Derek to kind of talk a little bit about that, because I know a lot of people have a sour taste in their mouth probably from Boston Sports Club. So and we'll go through that as well, because I have my own story with that. But yeah, man, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Derek? We'll start there. How'd you get into fitness?
Oh, man. I've been in fitness of some way, shape, or form since I was probably 2. They put me in
2, huh?
Yeah, I'm serious. they gave me hockey skates, and they put me on ice when I was 2 years old.
Dang.
And I started playing sports then, but I really didn't get into fitness probably till I was about 18.
Yeah.
Like started with boxing, and then got into bodybuilding, went into martial arts, different forms like that. Always been involved with some form of fighting, but yeah, it's that's how I really got into it. Fell in love with bodybuilding. You know, the bodybuilders of the old and great.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arnold.
So
Frank
what were your major influences growing up in terms of bodybuilders?
Oh, it's just like I was talking about.
yeah,
Arnold.
we've had this conversation many times, but not everybody knows.
Yeah, like Arnold. I always, just like everyone else, everyone knows who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. But you look at people like Lee Haney, Frank Zane, Franco Columbo. Some Sergio Oliveira, some of these people, even Joe Weider, back in his earlier life, you know what I mean? You see these people, and just like, how the bodybuilding world progressed, and how people just really tried to sculpt and transform their body. That's kind of like what really caught my eye.
Totally. Yeah, I was a generation after you. I was the, one generation, I think. You're not that much older than me. I was going to say 2, but now I think I'm pushing it.
I'll go
He was just talking about off air. He's on Snapchat because his kids are on Snapchat. Your kids don't even have phones yet.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, but let's not forget you're almost 40.
I know.
Let's not forget.
Let's
not
forget you're almost 40.
We'll bring it up every 5 minutes.
You know what? I don't forget. And I don't want any of you guys to forget either.
Karyssa's not very nice.
I know. You already know this. That's why I brought her on the podcast.
Welcome to Proform.
Yeah, that's why I brought her on the podcast. No, I was in the day of, Lee Priest was one of my favorites.
Oh, my gosh, he's phenomenal.
Lee Priest, Kevin Levrone.
Yeah.
Even like Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler were in my generation. So those were all like the greats that in my era. But obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lee Haney, those guys were up there too. So, but yeah, that was before the time of social media when you had to buy the Muscle and Fitness magazine. You were like, oh, and then flip through the same pages. And
I had stacks of them. You'd be reading the workouts.
Yeah. Yep. Before social media. But no, I love that. Did they have a direct influence on you in terms of like pursuing a career in fitness, if you will?
Yeah, 100%. Like you saw the way they had their lifestyle. how you could actually do this and actually live a normal lifestyle, while doing this. It wasn't like insane where you had to eat 2 ounces of the chicken, a quarter cup of rice. You could have some variance in there, but you needed to hone your diet in there. And just the fact of what they did in a short amount of time in the gym. You didn't have to spend, 18 hours in the gym. You could do it in 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, totally.
And just really sculpt, tone, and perfect the body and just the different ways. You could see the bodybuilder, from when Arnold was 18. You know what I mean? Really kind of he was still kind of good shape, but he was lanky. And then all of a sudden you see him when he's 28 and you're like, there he is. He's the oak.
That documentary totally put that into perspective because I don't think many people knew about that.
No, it's crazy, man. From Austria, but people like you said, Lee Priest, they were in my era too. These are the people that I started to, when I was, working in the GNC.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I'd be reading and watching, and you'd see Lee Priest with those biceps and that tiny waist. One of the few people that had an 8-pack. You know what I mean?
I know.
He was phenomenal, man. And then you see that evolution from there and the progression from there to Dorian Yates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where the mass monsters really started to come out. You know what I mean? And just a challenge, that's what really, to see how far you could push your body. Totally. That was fun for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nick, what was your bodybuilding influence when you were growing up?
I didn't really have a bodybuilding influence when I grew up. I was very far from bodybuilding. I was just all into sports, like the team sports, basketball, football.
Team sports.
Yeah, team sports, Team
Where you have to rely on others every once in a while.
Karyssa, did you have any influences growing up?
Not really, no.
Really?
I'm a very go with the flow type of person. Okay. So when I come across something new, I like to try it. And if I like it, I just keep going. You know what I mean? So, I was a CrossFit athlete for a little bit of my early 20s and whatever. Slowly got out of that because of, shoulder injuries and whatever. But yeah, and I mean, more recently, you guys have seen, I've really spent a lot more of my time doing I don't want to say bodybuilding type lifting, but kind of realistically, yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's just what I enjoy now.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Let's. That's actually a good point. Let's talk about that. The stigma of bodybuilding, because when people ask you, it's what do you do? Strength training. It's do I really do strength training? Yes, but I really do more bodybuilding than anything else. You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed to say that. But is that a thing? That's kind of a thing, though, isn't it? Right now,
I think it's more for the and I say this tongue in cheek, the uneducated to what we do in this field and how much science and how many different variables there are. You know what I mean? Because there are tons of different variables. Like you said, do we all do strength training? 100% we do, whether you're in sports, whether you're in bodybuilding, whether you're in actual strength and conditioning, CrossFit, different things like that. It's all strength training, but what avenue, what vein am I going down? Right? You have bodybuilding, something that I love, something that you love, and you're trying to sculpt the body and you're pinpointing weaknesses. Right now, I've been going on a tear, working on the upper part of my rhomboids and to the bottom part of my traps. Yeah, trying to build that shelf out because it's shallow. That's what we look at.
That's right.
Where you're doing with traditional strength people, what are they doing? Well, they're just trying to get the heaviest lifts out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love it. Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those stigmas that I wanted to bring up now that you brought it up, because some people are just I'm ashamed to call it bodybuilding, but that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't feel bad about it at all. Everybody's got their thing. I think the biggest thing too, it's why do you got to push your body like that? Why do you want to be that big? Why do you, dude, you're going to stop being bigger. It's well, I don't complain about you when you want to have a better marathon time. Do you know what I mean? You want to get a
why do you want to run a marathon?
That's me being crazy. Why do you want to run? That's so stupid. That makes no sense. Yeah. But it's the same thing, right? It's just my thing. That's your thing, right? So you kind of have to look at it from that angle, and everybody's got their thing, right? That just drives me. That motivates me. That makes me happy. That's my challenge, right? Nick's challenge, that dude wants to be explosive. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what sets us as a team apart is totally. Nick and Hayden are very much so on the same page, and me and Chad are very much so on the same page. We just train differently, and that's what makes us happy.
That's right. So. And I talk about that too. The diversity within the team is so important because Hayden's big into CrossFit. Nick's, he could do CrossFit, but that's just not his jam. You know what I mean? He likes the strength and conditioning aspect.
And then when Taylor comes back, Nick and Tay are two peas in a pod.
Two peas in a pod.
Yeah. I don't know what Hayden's gonna do when Taylor comes back.
He's jumping in. He's jumping in.
He's gonna feel like a third wheel. That's gonna be weird.
Poor Hayden.
Maybe Karyssa will join you for a couple of those. So you don't feel so bad.
You know, it depends. It depends on if it involves burpees. The hard answer is no.
Oh, that's a hard no for sure.
Burpees are wrong.
Burpees
That's all I'm saying right now.
Burpees are wrong.
Hayden, if you're doing burpees, man, listen, I just met you, but you're wrong.
I just say the only thing I get out of burpees is burps. That's it.
Pain.
Totally.
Legit pain.
So I've known Derek. Well, we've all known Derek for a couple of years now. And we've known that Derek has a certain way that he likes to do things. And we were just talking about this stuff off camera. But I think it's fun to mention because, you know, not everybody knows about everybody's personalities. But Derek has a thing where, first of all, Derek doesn't like to wear headphones when he works out, which
I'm with you on
not
that
even
one.
well.
I will say I saw headphones on your head the other day, and I'm like, I was going to ask you, and I was like, I don't know why they're there. But I didn't know what happened. I don't know if you had a midlife crisis or something.
Yeah.
But then he also likes to wear, cut-off
sweatshirts.
Cut-off hoodies.
But not just any type of cut-off hoodie. It's usually Disney related of some sorts that he probably bought back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this becoming black? I feel like I just took a shot.
Dang.
Shots fired.
Oh, man. But obviously the sweat, everybody's got their thing with what they want to wear, but the headphone thing is interesting. So I kind of want your take on that because there are some, Nick does that. Hayden does that too. I don't think Hayden wears headphones for the most part.
I don't like headphones.
Well, the difference is like we're, you know, when we're here 12 to 2 every day, the music's bumping.
Yeah,
like
it's true.
it's freaking loud in here.
Yeah.
So they don't have to wear headphones.
Yeah.
Derek just chooses not to and listens to everyone grunt and moan all fucking exercise long. Like it drives me insane.
Yeah, does the music not pump you up? Like how does this? How does it go?
No, music does. So if I'm training like just with weights, I'm typically not wearing headphones just because I don't need music to get me fired up.
I think it's great.
I just don't. I don't know the guy's name, but he's like a SEAL or something. Does SEAL training, and he has the same mentality. He's like, if I need music to pump me up, I have to find the motivation within me.
Totally.
Right, and that's what it is, and that's what I do. I see myself, and I'm like, all right, you know, where can I push myself harder? People ask me all the time, what are you training for? I go, me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm training for me. I'm just trying to I'm seeing how far I can push myself in the later part of my life where people typically say, well, you can't do this at this age. You can't move further at this age. And I'm like, well, no, that's not true. I can do this at any age. You just have to train right. But when I'm doing boxing, if I'm throwing hands or if I'm doing stuff like that, no, I have my music going with that. Because that'll tie in and let, like, you know, anger out and stuff like that. No, I'll bang the bags a little bit and move around. But yeah.
Yep.
Typically, no, though. I don't use the music.
I love it. It's unique for sure. I wish I had that type of internal motivation.
If I forget my headphones, workout's done.
Yeah.
See you later. I'm not even going.
I do have a spare set of headphones in my gym bag, but they only last me about an hour, so I got to get it in.
Quick workout.
That's not going to happen.
The batteries are not so good.
That doesn't happen. There's no quick workout.
No, there's not.
With your 19-second rep.
Me and you were just talking about this the other day.
That's fair.
Like Chad will be in there for 3 hours because he spends 10 minutes in between reps.
You know what's funny? No. But you know what's funny is I took a video one time, and it was because I take videos of myself for my coach because she gets on my ass about that. And I took a video one time, and I was doing like shoulder presses, and this guy next to me was doing rows, right? And I didn't know that he was there, but I saw the video afterwards, and he had like 5 reps to my every one. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I really want to use this so bad, but you know,
I don't know who this guy is.
Hayden's the same way. This dude loves to lift weight really, really fast and be like, "Yo, you see me lift those 90-pound dumbbells?" I'm like, dude, anybody can lift 90-pound dumbbells.
It's a different purpose.
Listen, your definition of slow and controlled is just a little bit too.
Chad, I love you, bro.
Tempo.
Bro, I love you. But listen, like sometimes I've watched some of your reps and I'm like,
what the heck? I respect it though. Like through COVID, when Chad and I were working together, like he was forced into it, kind of. I was trying to get it to happen for like years, and he was finally forced into it because of worldwide pandemic. But nonetheless, it was incredible watching this man like, oh, he's struggling. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's oh, I got it. No. And it's just he was like creating this struggle. Hey, dude, you do have more internal motivation than you think.
Oh,
you don't need.
You're too nice.
Get rid of those headphones, man. It's frying your brain anyway. You don't need them.
Well, that's probably
but
true.
no, I do want to come, dude. Like literally, I'm joking with you, but
no,
like,
I get it.
It's impressive.
It
like
is impressive.
the way you train, it's impressive. Not many people can train on that level the way you do with that rep.
Agreed.
Thank you.
But I do want to. You said you saw headphones on my head one time. Let's talk about that.
I did. I don't know what
Let's talk about that. They were lost and found. You just want to try it out, you know?
No, legit. That's what it was.
No way.
Nailed it.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
It was
What
like
on
They were
3 days ago.
in there for over like
Yeah.
2 weeks, and like no one's claiming them. I'm like,
Yeah, they
let's
use.
try them out. So I put them
Heck
on my head, and then the volume didn't work that well. So I was like, oh, they weren't lost. They were left.
They were
They
left.
were left.
Yep.
And this is
Purposely
why
left.
I don't wear music and took them off.
Yeah. Nice.
That is awesome.
That's hilarious.
All right, now we know that you weren't having a midlife crisis. So
No.
that's good.
No.
All is well. All right, we're gonna stop picking on Derek. But I do
Why?
want to talk. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm sure
Really?
it's gonna happen just
Bring it.
naturally and organically
I'm
throughout
ready.
this conversation. But I do want to talk about the evolution of that gym behind us. And when I was in high school, it was Gold's Gym, and I was a member there. And then it became Latitudes, and they did a good job. And then BSC kind of came in and just trashed it. And I got my own story with that. But you actually worked for BSC as they went through that transition, and then now you've kind of followed it through with Choice. And I kind of want to have you talk a little bit about the transition from what it was and what it is now, and everything that you guys have planned going forward. Because I think everybody still has this sour taste in their mouth, and they're like, I don't want to go. Like I was just talking to a patient literally a week ago, and he's like, yeah, I know. I heard it's really better, but I just don't know if I want to take the risk. You know what I mean? I get that, but I also want people to understand that the changes over there are pretty cool, and it's not what it used to be,
Right. No, 100%. And look, I can't speak to the corporation of BSC. I can't do it because I don't know their inner workings. I was a trainer there. All I could say was I came in right after the pandemic, and I'm not trying to give them a pass by any stretch of the matter because I don't know what they were like before the pandemic. I heard stories about some of the stuff that happened, which if they were true, they was really shady.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Sure.
Wasn't good. But I will say this, there was really nothing put in there, and there was a lot of people that had a bad taste because they're paying for a membership and there's nothing being put into the club, right?
Totally.
With BSC, or at least that's what they were seeing. And as a trainer, I'm sitting here and I'm like, why aren't people coming in? And you see this and you're wondering what's going to happen. And then lo and behold, I think the whole time I was there, they were actually working on a sale because that's why they were putting things in there. But I could sit here and, we can go down the list of whether it be, BSC or any old company that got bought out, and we can trash them for different things and whatnot. And that's not who I am. That's not what it's about. They were one entity. We're a completely different entity. BSC doesn't exist anymore. Choice Fitness is there. And I can tell you this about Choice Fitness. When they first came in, I met the owners. I got to talk with them. And I saw who they were. They're blue collar people, man. They're in the gyms. They actually work out.
They do.
And they actually care. They'll listen to the members. You may not like their answer. Just to be transparent,
Absolutely.
but they'll listen to you and they'll go okay, but they'll tell you why they're going to do a certain thing. They're not just going to tell you no. Or they're going to say, oh, that's a great suggestion. Let's look into that. But I know as a corporation, they've put somewhere in the realm of probably 1.5 to 1.7 million into that club. That one alone. Never mind the rest of Choice.
Yeah,
but
right.
Just that club
Just that
alone
club.
In about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. So
incredible.
they're definitely committed to making that place what it was like back in the heyday, from what I heard of like Latitude, and definitely Goals,
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean, of
For sure.
bringing that, one social aspect, but really committed to quality equipment, quality training, and honestly a quality experience. Are there still some growing pains going on in there right now? 100% there are. You know what I mean? And it's tough, but we're getting there. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been fun. I'm really happy to be there. We've got a great team there. And if anyone that still has a bad taste in their mouth, come by, try it out, man.
Totally.
Like really, just come try it out.
Yep.
Honestly, though, like even since I haven't even been going there that long. It's been maybe 9 months. The changes that I've seen in the last 9 months have been wild. Like the whole boxing room, brand new.
Yep.
Like completely knocked out 2 of those racquetball courts. Not knocking them out completely.
That was
There's still 2 more.
There was a little contention there.
I'm sure there was. But like, look at what you're getting now with the boxing. You're getting more memberships just for boxing alone. The locker rooms are being redone. The yoga studio that's upstairs now. The women's studio, all new equipment. Like
Spin studio got put in.
Yeah.
We just finished building the Pilates studio. We're waiting for the reformers to come in. So there's a lot of stuff still coming. But yeah, they refurbished the basketball courts. We turfed the back area where it was, just really not in good shape. They're in the process of looking into redoing the whole track and getting actually a decent surface instead of that rubberized concrete that was back in 1980.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Seriously. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, but yeah, they've done a lot. The boxing studio alone has been fun because one of the things that I wanted to bring there with that, because you touched on that, is I wanted to show people and we're talking about stigmas, breaking the stigma of that boxing is such a dangerous sport. Yeah. Can it be? Yes, 100%. But so can any sport. I mean, people don't realize this. They talk about concussions in like football and hockey, but if you actually do the research, you'll find that there are actually more concussions in soccer. And they don't realize that. But like, so it's like if you have boxing, you can use boxing for fitness, mobility, dexterity, just the whole body. It's a wonderful workout. You have your HIIT, you'll have strength, you'll have all that in there. And it's something that we've brought to Choice Fitness in Salisbury. It's actually going to be developed and put into all the elite clubs as well. Nice. Yeah.
But so this is the only club that it's offered at currently?
Right now, and I don't have an exact date, but I would say within the next 2 to 2.5 months, you'll see it in Danvers. Yeah, we already have the equipment bought.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I see Karyssa over there punching the speed bag. She's getting
it going. I was struggling. Like I said to Derek,
Sorry about that. That's probably my fault.
Yeah, it is your fault. 150% your
what
fault.
happened? I'm the one who gets on it the most.
You've just been picking on me a lot lately, so I'm like, I need to get my anger out somehow.
I approved that message.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah,
so I'll be in the boxing room. I typically go in after
I'm just looking out for you. We're all trying to help, add a little assistance to your fitness journey. So like,
do you hit the speed bag before or after you work out?
After. So I'll hit my strength first. I'll do a little bit of cardio, whether it's incline walk on the treadmill or stair climber. Then I'll go in the boxing room and hit the speed bag for a little bit. And like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I said to Derek, I was like, I can't get the hang of this shit for the life of me.
Yeah.
And last night I was in there and I was just like, it was, oh my God, I freaking love it now. So yeah, I'm in there as often as I can.
She was clearly doing it to music.
Yes.
Totally.
I shut the door, I turn the stereo up as loud as I can, and I just lock in, and it's just,
that's
a good
cool.
time.
She does turn it up as loud as she can.
You're lucky that room is soundproof.
It's not soundproof.
Yes, it is.
That's why you had the headphones on that one time.
Yes.
You weren't listening to music. You were just drowning out the noise. I got you.
Now it's making sense.
Hey, listen, it was ludicrous radio. It's totally
Hey,
fine.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
I know you are.
So, Derek, how'd you go from trainer at BSC to general manager?
Ooh, great question.
That's a great question.
It's probably the most important question.
But you still do train.
I do. I still train people, 100%.
Yeah.
But you were just a trainer with BSC.
I was just a trainer with BSC.
Yeah, that's right.
But I still do train people. I'll always train people because that's what we're all in it for, right?
That's right.
You guys
that's what Chad says too, but I haven't really seen it lately.
What, training?
He says he's always going to treat and train, but he hasn't been here. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I treated 2 patients this morning.
2 patients this morning.
Nick,
on his day off.
On his day off.
That's
come see me over there. I'll give you a job because you're probably going to get fired now.
He can't fire me.
It's actually true. I can't. Because then I would have to work more.
Yeah, I signed it.
It's in the contract. No. So how I became when I met the owners, man, I saw what they were all about, and I just told them straight out. I'm very direct. You all know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just very direct.
Yeah.
And I told them, I want to run your club.
That was it.
It's just really, I want. The way I said it, that's just how I'm just direct. That's how I am. I said, I want to run your club. And then I talked to him a little bit. I did not force you. No.
I want to run your club.
No. I did. No, man, I did. I want to run your club, and because I saw these guys, and they were just. They reminded me of honestly of like normal human beings that just love fitness, just love to help people. And I was like, I want to run this club because I see what they're bringing in.
Yeah, you vibed with it.
Yeah, 100%. And then I just talked to him. I go, I just after I said that, I go, no, I would really, and I told him, I go, I'd really like the opportunity to do that. And if you give me a chance, I think we can make something great here. And I remember when they gave me the interview, they said, what do you think this club needs in order to be successful? And I said, it's really simple. It needs love. That's all it needs. I go, this club has so much potential.
I like that.
It's already in there. All it needs is the love of people that care about it and care about the members. Yeah. You will see this place flourish. And that's what they're about. So, I mean, it's like you said, we vibed, if you will. Like we were totally together on that. Yeah.
I can attest to that too, because even when it was Latitudes, Latitudes was great, but it wasn't anything special. You know what I mean? But every employee there was great. Like we worked with a lot of the trainers there. They were super, like they greeted you, they welcomed you when they went in the door. You just felt like part of Latitudes. You know what I mean? And I think that is all part of like being a part of a gym, is like that community that you feel. And when it was Boston Sports Club, you did not have that feeling. And I think that's what really triggered a lot of people to be like, you know what, this is not for me. But I will say that the staff there now does the same thing as it did with Latitudes. You know, we work very closely with all of the trainers there, and we love them. You know what I mean?
They're over here way too often.
We send them over here.
But you know what? I tried to have that relationship with Boston Sports Club, and it just never happened. You know what I mean? So it's being able to like work with each other, and like we just saw an eval the other day with one of your trainers that sent them over, and it's like, yep. And then we reach out to the trainer and we let them know, and it's like this nice relationship, and that's what it should be, you know. And we would do the same the other way. Like we would refer some. So it's like it's when you feel that, you know, it's definitely different than just going to a gym, because there's that. I mean, there's that gym community thing. It's a real thing, you know. And if you haven't experienced that, then you really should, because it really does make the experience that much better.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you on that. No, because, and that's what it's about. We want to create that. You know, we want to see that, and that relationship. We were just talking about that. Just before this podcast, we were talking about the fact that, like, you know, you have the gym. People don't realize it because, and I say this tongue in cheek, not that they're not educated for any other reason, but just education isn't out there, that it's not just about going to the gym and lifting weights. It's not even just about stretching before and after the gym. You have recovery. You have, you know, proactive stuff that you're doing, you know, preventive measures that you have. And that's why we have relationships like with you know, with Proform and, you know, physical therapy and sending people over here, because we're able to continue to have that, you know, for lack of a better term, symbiotic relationship where people are getting, you know, the strength, they're getting all that stuff. They're pushing their body to the limits. And if something isn't going wrong, and they're just being preventative, they're able to come over here and they're able to get that type of treatment and strategies in order to move forward.
And the bonus is that we're right next to one another.
Dude, it's
crazy. It's wonderful,
crazy.
man.
It's crazy.
Literally,
I love coming over here and getting treatment.
Yeah,
me?
exactly.
I know.
When you hit me with the dry needle, that's always so fun.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. The dry needling's love-hate. But I will say that you're right. I mean, I know Brent over there. He's one of the owners over there at Choice Fitness, and you know, I literally was working out one day, and he walked up to me and introduced himself to me. I was like, "That's cool."
He did the same.
It was
to me.
great. It was a really nice thing to do. He didn't have to do that. I wouldn't have known that he was a gym owner. I thought he would just be a member. You know what I mean? But then we also started talking. We were like, "Oh shit, we didn't even realize that we both had daughters that danced together in like the same dance company for like 2 years."
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's wild.
So, and he recognized me. I didn't recognize him, but him and his wife work out there, and she's savage too. Yeah. So it's like they both just crush it, and it's really cool to see that, because you know, they practice what they preach. You can tell that they actually will do the right things for the member because they're actually there in the gym. They're not just like, you know, 1,000 miles away just calling the shots. So I think it does really make a big difference when
they also
when you
understand
have that.
fitness.
Totally.
Right,
Totally.
like it's like they're not just working out. Like you know, like you brought up Brett. You can tell. Like if you see Brett, you're like, oh wow, he's in good shape.
Totally.
You know what I mean? You look at it, like you said,
he's in great shape.
She's in great shape. You know.
Yeah.
The other owners, they're in great shape.
Yeah.
They're doing it. You know what I mean? And it's just it's wonderful, man.
Totally.
You know, these guys are phenomenal, and they care about the people. Like you said, they don't care. They're like,
no,
hi,
I think it's
and
awesome.
they'll actually come up to you and be like, How do you like it? What's going on? You haven't, and they'll just ask you the basic questions.
right.
You know what I mean? To see what's going on. They actually care.
Yep. Yeah, and there is a social aspect to that gym too. Like I was just there the other day, and that people go there. Like some people just kind of like do a couple sets and then walk around and talk, and it's just their thing. It's cool. You know what I mean? But they huddle with each other. It's like when you have like a bunch of old guys that go to get coffee at the coffee shop, but instead of them going to the coffee shop, they go to the gym. So at least it's more productive. So I'm going to give it to them there. But it's funny because they'll just walk up. And, before they can even ask what they want for a smoothie, it's already made. It's already at the desk. Like that's like how the relationship is. You know what I mean? So I think it's really cool.
Well, not only that, but like the other day, I work out with one of Derek's employees, Alyssa. We work out every Monday together, and last week she was sick. She had the flu. So I'm just working out by myself, and one of the guys who I religiously see there at night comes up to me and goes, "Where's your buddy?" And I was like, "Oh, she's sick." And he was like, "I'm just surprised to see you working out by yourself." I'm like, "Yeah, she's sick, but I got to get it done." So like, I've never met this dude in my life, but like he notices me there. And he notices that I have a friend that I work out with. And when I'm working out alone, he's like, "Hey, what the hell?"
That's right.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty cool that like you create these relationships without even like wanting to, and not wanting to create them, but they just like kind of happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know half the people's names in there, but I get the head nod. And I'm like, cool. It's like that mutual respect. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What's up, guy? What's up, guy? What's up, guy? Bro? But totally, that's just what it is, No, I did. That was like one of the main things that I wanted to get out of this podcast, because I don't think people really understand the evolution of that gym and what it's actually gone through. But you guys do like member appreciations. You guys do all that stuff. So it's not like you don't care. You know what I mean? 100%. And we were fortunate to be part of the last one. We hope that if any events you guys got coming up, we can still have fun with that, because we love going over there. I mean, I go over there when I don't have to be over there, because that's my spot.
We were talking about earlier. I'm still looking at doing a bodybuilding symposium over there.
I love it.
We'll have you guys over there with preventative and recovery.
So good.
People teaching, different things. Our trainers in there, so that like these bodybuilders that are giving out these like recommendations on how to train, our trainers are right there to be able to go, look, we can take you through this after they leave. So they're not left in the lurch. So they're able to continue to move forward and have progression.
And we actually talked with, I think you guys hired a few new people over there that are going to be directing, whether it's like community outreach kind of stuff. But we talked to that one woman, and she's going to be helping us run some workshops over there. Do you remember what her name was, Karyssa?
I honestly have no idea.
I know.
No, I gave her my card.
Yeah.
It was on Valentine's Day. It was that whole crew.
And we did the member appreciation day.
What type of what hair color?
She was a previous bodybuilder. She had done a lot of shows in the past, you were telling me.
Oh, Kelly.
Kelly, thank you.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like super excited to run workshops and like get more information, education out there, but not only for the staff, but for the members. So
yeah, Kelly's our
I think that's awesome.
regional fitness director.
There you go.
That's
Regional fitness director.
Yeah.
But she was super proactive about that. I think that's awesome.
Well, even just like her, like taking the time to want to talk to us about that is, I mean, it's cool. Some gym owners or, gym management just don't give a shit, but it's nice that she does.
Yeah, no, and that's what's great. That's one other thing I can talk, like the upper management, like the people that are above me, like they call them executive management. Again, just like blue collar, they care about fitness. They care about the people. They care about the staff. They want to put everyone in the best place to success. The staff, the members, moving forward. They don't just look at like the next 2 months. We're looking at like the next 2 years. Like, how are we going to progress? What are we looking at moving forward? How is this going to be something more? How are we going to grow as a company, right? Because they have 10 clubs right now, and they don't want to stop there. Like they want to add different things. They want to add more turf area. They want to add different things. Like we have the pickleball program over
That's
there.
right. That's true.
Pickleball's
That's
huge
right.
right
I don't know how I could forget about that, because they're in full force when I'm over there.
I'm telling you, man. I honestly, up until like 5 years ago, I had no idea what pickleball was.
Yeah.
And then my parents moved down to Florida. They're like, "We're playing pickleball." I'm like, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, you don't even like pickles.
What the heck is this? But I'll tell you, man, and like if you have mobility issues and you still want to stay active, pickleball is the way to go, man. Because it's like you're using a wiffle ball, you have a paddle. It's like doing tennis, but on a slower scale.
Yeah.
which is really good, allowing people to stay active in their later years and age.
Yep.
It's
Careful,
great.
don't call pickleball slow. People get upset.
Slower. I did not say slow.
Yeah,
I said
know. I'm just saying.
pace.
Be careful. Be careful.
Listen,
They'll get upset.
I'm going to have a group of them out there now ready to I'll be wrapped up behind a dumpster somewhere.
Yeah, I'm saying. You
Some
got to
people
be
take that
careful.
stuff seriously.
No,
You
they
gotta be
do,
careful.
man.
They're trying to make that like a sport in college right now. Like
Well,
that's
it's
how-
actually an Olympic event.
It's
yeah,
in the
that's what I'm
Olympics,
saying. Like it's a big deal right now.
Yeah. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, a couple of others own teams.
Oh no
Yeah.
way!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They're all
Like, if you
invested in it, yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you this. If you can sometime, check out pro pickleball players on like ESPN. They'll play them every now and again. Dude, they won't move. They like be directly across from one another, and it's just like pap, 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 pap.
The better you are, the less you move.
Dude, it's insane,
It's like
dude.
life-size ping pong.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but let me tell you, man. Like, I don't. It's not slow by any stretch, but
Yeah,
they move slower than
I'm just joking.
tennis. Yeah, I don't want to get beat down.
I'm
all
just
right?
joking. I'm just joking.
Nick, watch what you say.
Yeah, I'm
Gosh.
joking. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm gonna get
You're
bundled
gonna
now.
get in
Thanks.
trouble.
Yeah. But what I will say is, like, especially nowadays, like gyms have to adapt to change,
100%.
and the change, like, is like having the turf, having the sleds, having the pickleball, having the boxing, having all of these areas of interest that people can join a club and be a part of all of these things, because it can't just be about lifting weights, even though I would love that. But that's me, right? I'm a very, very small percentage of the population that would actually enjoy that. And if I had a gym like that, I would go out of business because there wouldn't be enough people to make it survive. You know what I mean?
You would be. You're considered old school.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I am.
And that's cool.
I'm the
Like,
same way.
I will never use the pool there. I will never use the sauna. I will never play pickleball. But you know what?
You move way too slow for pickleball. You move way too slow for pickleball.
And if I fall, I'm done, bro.
Do you literally like people? They're always trying to get me to play pickleball with them, and I tell them straight. I go, I'm not getting schooled and having you talk smack to me.
No
all day.
way.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
No way.
You know what I mean? Because
Let me practice in my backyard first.
Seriously,
and then I'll
I'm
play
trying
you
to
in a
get
couple
schooled
years.
by
by
little
an 85-year-old grandma.
Yeah.
The first step you
Yeah.
need to take is working on your mobility there, man.
No doubt. Yeah.
it's hard, man. It still is a lot of lateral movement, a lot of back and forth, and I'm learning. Actually, my son, he just started playing it.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna probably have to learn because
He's
gonna
make
want
you.
to play with me. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that is awesome.
it's great. But it's like you said. But I'm glad you brought up because we didn't talk about that. Like we have the lap pool, we have the therapy pool, we have the hot tub. We have steam rooms and saunas and stuff like that. And like we're working on them. We're bringing them up. We're making them better every day. We didn't shut anything down, so it's a little bit harder to fix things. So it's like you fix a little bit, and then you work with it, and then all of a sudden you have to fix this next piece. So it's like a little bit of piece by piece. Instead of shutting the whole thing down, we wanted to make sure members were still having access to everything.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's the way to go for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up in terms of like your experience there at the gym?
I don't think
I mean,
so,
you're the only one
really.
that goes there besides me.
Yeah, we go
I'm a little
to
hurt, Nick. All right.
I know. See, you should
Hey,
be.
back when it was Latitudes.
Actually, he did go to Latitudes when it was Latitudes.
The business Proform paid for my membership over there. I've never gotten that
That is
offer.
fair.
Would you like me to send I can send an email to the owner of Proform if you'd like.
You know what's strange?
That is true. I did do that.
That benefit got completely taken away.
I was
weird.
I was kind of waiting for it, and
Do
then
you
we
wanna-
hired Hayden, and Hayden's now my workout partner because Taylor's apparently never coming back.
So okay, and this goes back to my BSC story, okay? And this is good that you brought this up, Nick, because
I know. Well, I
forgot
I
all
knew it
about
needed
the
to get
fact that
talked
I was
about.
paying for 7 memberships and got screwed for 2 months at BSC. But I will say during that whole transition, we knew the trainers so well that they would have my phone numbers because it would be like one of those things like us, like, hey, you got any time to see me on Saturday or Friday or whatever, and I would. And I remember that morning when they closed the doors and literally chained the doors, I remember getting a text from one of the trainers over there, and she goes, "You're not going to believe what happened this morning." She goes, "You're going to have to look out your window," because she knew I was right here. And I was like, "What happened?" She goes, "They literally chained the doors. We can't even get in. Even as employees, we don't even know that it was closed." And I was like, "Get out of here." She goes, "No way." So I literally, because we opened up at 6 o'clock. I walked over here, looked over, and sure enough, sure as shit, everybody was driving in and driving out, driving in and driving out. And I'm like, wow, people don't even know. You know what I mean? And that's horrible. And then they charge us for 2 extra months. So That was cool. But I did get it back.
That was cool.
That was cool. American Express was good to me that day.
And then after that, Chad said, no more free gym memberships for my employees. They can pay
After
for it
that,
by
I shut it down.
Shut it down.
Here I am paying for
Nick,
it because I really love it.
Well, yeah, right? Yeah.
I was like, why do you guys got to go next door? I just spent crazy amount of money to put equipment in this place.
Well, that was the other thing. Is like through COVID, like
that's true.
People from the outside were even trying to come and work out here. So
I know.
we had everything. You've done a great job putting equipment in this place. I've never felt the need to leave. So
me neither. However, we've talked about this
Totally.
before. You need a change of scenery
Totally,
every once in a while, and
totally.
I'm here
That's why I go
pretty
outside and
much
sprint.
all day, and I
That's
can't.
just crazy talk.
The motivation I have here is different than the motivation I have there.
No
I don't know how better.
Yeah, I
to
can
explain
tell.
it.
No, it's Oh, Jesus.
Are you for real right now?
Wow, shots fired again.
Nicholas, do you want me to throw your middle name on this podcast right now?
Oh
'Cause
man,
I'm about to.
that was good though. I mean, you kind of lobbed that up for me. Like,
Let's
I'm
think
just,
about it
you
for
know.
a second.
A day in the life at Pro 4. This is what nobody sees.
I joined Choice Fitness in June of 2023, and since then I'm down 24 pounds.
Hey.
So I'm telling you, if I were to stay here during the middle of the day and work out here, the motivation's just not there for me. I don't know.
Well, no, there's something to be said about that. Seriously, like, because anyone that's been in fitness for a long period of time, we've all had home gyms, right? We all have. And they usually become coat hangers.
Yeah.
Or you look at them and be like, all right, I'm going to work out. But then, like, especially if you have kids.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Anything like
For
that.
sure.
Or, you have real life. And, like, you're like, all right, just not getting in there.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about going to a place, being purposed,
That's
having
right.
a plan.
That's right.
And that's what it is. That's what you guys do here. You give people a purpose and a plan. Our trainers give people a purpose and a plan. They program for them specific for their needs. It's not canned workouts where you see at some other gyms that have, per se, trainers, air quotes, right? And they have these little, right? They have these little sheets they use, right?
Yeah.
Everyone should have like, some kind of, general thing they do in the beginning, like for your first fitness assessment, seeing where you are with FSM or anything, something to that effect.
Yeah.
But like, after that, I have to program to your needs. You know what I mean? Like the way, if Chad was my client, right, and you were my client, I'm not going to program for you guys the same way because you're looking for two different needs, right?
Yeah.
Like he said, you're looking for explosion, you're looking for pliability, you're looking for those type of things. I can't have you do the same type of exercise because you're going to be a ball of tightness.
And I don't want to do that shit either. So
Chad, on the other hand, just
don't program it for me because I won't do it.
I won't do it. That's stupid.
So much so, and like I said earlier in the podcast, we are directly next door to Choice Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much so that Chad gets in his damn truck.
Okay. Hold on. But
And
I already know what you're going to say. There's a
drives.
fence in the way.
He drives.
Yeah, they put that fence up right there.
Because he doesn't
They steal
want
my electricity, and now they put me up. They blocked me, so I can't even walk to the
He
gym.
doesn't want to burn
there's a fence.
calories.
What is this?
There's a fence. It's not all the way around,
I
but
just
there's a
want to make
fence.
sure when you say we, I just want to clarify it. That's not us. That was whoever.
Yeah,
I
whoever the-
did drive
the
over
movie
there the other day,
company.
but
Yeah.
it was also raining
It was because it was
outside.
raining and you didn't want to melt. Like,
And
Listen.
I don't like walking in the rain because I specifically said I don't want to start my workout soaking wet.
Yeah.
After, yes.
The rain tends to flatten
Okay,
the
so-
mohawk.
And
too.
it flattens the hawk.
answer this for
We
me.
can't
then.
have that.
Answer this for me then. Out of the numbers of times that you've driven over there, what percentage of those days was it raining?
Oh, I don't know. I
man.
can't give you a number.
Wow.
I'm going to say 2%.
But I will say, in the summer, I'm definitely more active with walking over there. Now we're in kind of like a little transition. It's cold, it's rainy, it's windy. I don't feel like doing it.
Listen, I get you back on this one, dude. I will drive over here, and I'm right over there, brother.
Oh, it has nothing to do with
I like the comfort of
conditioning
my
aspect.
car.
Yeah. But you know what, though? You know what the sad part about that is, though? It actually takes me a lot less time to walk over than it does drive.
It really
Because I
does.
can sit over
Yeah.
here for 10
sure.
minutes and
Trying
wait
to
to
turn left- trying to
Yeah.
turn left out of this parking
gotta-
lot is
yeah.
miserable.
I'm about
Cars
to
just
I'm about to
flying
make a
by.
You gotta go
right
north
here.
to go south. Yeah, I know. It's like,
Totally,
yeah.
you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Oh, but it's true. But no, I totally agree with the change of scenery. That's been my thing for a while. I also don't want to listen to Hip Hop Anonymous while I'm over here for 2 hours listening to Lil this and Big this and
Yeah, baby.
you know, and Luda. Oh, Luda, I
Yeah.
like Luda, but like, there's only so much of that I can take. You know, it doesn't get me going. It doesn't. You know, we talked about this before.
Yeah,
Hayden and I, Hayden didn't want to break it to you, but he doesn't like rap. He likes heavy metal.
He likes both because I've heard him put.
No.
I've heard him willingly put rap on too.
But you know what? we've also noticed a trend, Karyssa and I, and Hayden is slowly starting to get really, really close to what you do in terms of like busting out lyrics, as he's working out. I heard Hayden the other day. I was like, who's Hayden talking to?
Hayden knows lyrics though. Like I've heard him bust stuff out.
You can flow?
Yeah.
Can you flow?
I was like, Hayden's starting to bust out rhymes.
He's been busting out rhymes.
Can you flow?
No.
Oh no, I want bust it around, man. Go.
No, I can't. I can't.
Chad literally goes, I can hear Nick singing during his workout. I said, that's not Nick, that's Hayden.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I was like,
Hey,
you guys got to start a band.
Hey, a boy band.
Oh my gosh, no.
Derek loves boy bands.
Boy band is bad. Boy band
is bad.
Oh, bad.
Let's bring some Backstreet Boys in this.
It's NSYNC right here.
Yeah, we get.
The boys of pro form.
The profane.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Oh, it is horrible. But those are the two main reasons why I go over there. But I also like to communicate with you guys.
You own the place. You put on whatever music you want, right?
Well, it's really hard to do that when the Spotify is synced up to your phone all the time.
Well,
I have no control.
I'm sorry I get here. Some days I'm here first.
And it just has a mind of its own.
Yeah, and
the volume goes up.
Maybe
and down
I get here
all
and the phone's not here because someone takes it for Instagram or something.
Oh, that's my fault. Sorry.
Yeah, I get here and it's like, oh, no phone. I guess I'm gonna put it on my phone. You guys are stuck with it all day. Sorry.
No, that's true.
Hey, as long as you don't play number 18, then we're good.
I won't play number 18. I know better.
Inside joke for all
I know
you guys
better.
That's the big booty mix.
I know better. It's got a really raunchy verse in there that's just Karyssa.
Dude, all of them have raunchy verses.
Well, no, I know, but that one's like real raunchy, and it just
raunchy.
It goes, and normally they'll go and then they'll stop. This one just goes and goes.
It goes for like 45 seconds,
and you're just like, oh man, they said it that many times. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Well, so I want to ask you like one or two just basic questions.
Go ahead.
And these are the questions that we pretty much ask every trainer that we have on the podcast. I know, because we're always interested, but like, what's the answer going to be, But one of those questions is like, what's the best bang for your buck exercise that you could pretty much give to most people that they could benefit from?
All right, that's a broad question.
Yeah, I know, but you can only pick one exercise.
You can only
pick one.
Because immediately my mind's going to like, well, what age bracket are we talking
about?
No.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about all those
people. Stop being rational.
Don't be rational.
Stop thinking.
Yeah.
General
Don't be rational.
Don't overthink
Bench
it.
press.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
No.
That would be me.
No, honestly, I think the most bang for your buck, if done safely and correctly with the right form, is going to be your deadlift.
Yeah, hip hinge. Yep. See? That's
what we get the most common.
Yeah, that's the common one. Although we got a Turkish get up the other day. That was
a
new.
Turkish get up. Yeah. For someone. Yeah.
You'll hit bicep, you'll hit tricep, you hit your back, you hit your glutes, you hit your hamstrings, your quads, your calves. The only thing you're really not really directly engaging is really your chest. So all in all, that's going to be your best bang,
dude.
For
totally. And
unless you just like throw it back down to the ground or something, like a trap bar, you just throw it.
Just do like a straight chest press towards the ground.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
You just don't, Derek. You don't. You just let him go with it.
But no, I could burpee jump out of the trap bar and then do some deficit push-ups on the trap bar handles. Boom, there's your best exercise right there.
Definitely could.
That's Derek's right there. Trap bar deadlift into a burpee push-up.
Seems too much.
So there's a couple problems with that. Okay? The first problem is the word burpee.
But you said the word burpee.
That's why I threw it in there. That's why I threw it in there for you.
Yeah.
Jump lunge. No, that's stupid.
So what I would say is that, I mean, I agree. I think the hip hinge is one of those movements that most people can't do correctly either. So, and I think it's the movement that we do mostly, but it's also the movement that gets most people in trouble when done improperly.
100%.
So I agree.
Back
I like
injury,
the hip hinge.
knee injury,
1,000%.
All that.
1,000%. All right. My last question for you is what does the vision of Choice Fitness look like over the next, say, 3 to 5 years? Or can you say?
So I think each club, right? Each club,
sure.
The vision in of itself is always, Choice is like the reason why they're named Choice, because it's your choice for the best fitness for yourself, right? Something to that effect. But I think each club has a little bit of its own kind of like culture, its own entity. Like I can speak, for right now for Salisbury is like my goal for any type of fitness organization I've ever worked for is to bring, a family a family atmosphere, if you will, or that community, like people that want to help one another, that enjoy one another. It might not even be someone that you would hang out with outside of here, but in the club, you guys are just like, hey, listen, you're working out together, you're laughing with one another. If you see someone that needs a spot, you're jumping over, you're giving them a spot, stuff to that effect, to bring that family type of a culture there. And honestly, to bring the fun back into fitness. Like fitness, look, Planet Fitness has its place.
Sure.
Right? It really does. But I'm a firm believer in places like Planet Fitness have destroyed real fitness.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah, it's just, they're predicated on people paying, as little as possible and not showing up. They're not engaging, leading people to how they can have their best victory for their body. So when people come in here, what I want people to have is, typically most people come into a gym or a club, they have about an hour, right? That's roughly what you see people coming into a club for.
Yeah.
I want that to be the best hour of their day.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's been going on in their life. You don't know what work was like. You don't know what type of things are going on in their home life or anything. You don't. This could be the only place to have an hour of peace, an hour of just like where they can just go, and really just like release, do something for themselves, and be able to leave there feeling good about themselves, like they've accomplished something, and learning that it takes more than one step to reach a goal, understanding that you can't get to one end of the club to the other in one step. It takes multiple steps. As long as you make it in the door, you're going to get to where you want to go if you continue and push.
Yeah, I love it.
I've always said, the gym is my happy place. The gym is my therapy. Like, I get asked, why do I go to the gym so often? Because I love it. Like, I just love going. And I don't know, not everybody understands that, but if you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like you said, you want everyone to be able to go to that place and just kind of like leave everything at the door, get your shit done, and then continue on with normal life.
Those people that say that go to Planet Fitness.
You know what? So here's the difference.
No, not you. I'm saying the people that say, why do you lift so much? Go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah. But also,
local alarm.
I was just about to say, I'm gonna pick on them for a minute. They call themselves the quote judgment-free zone, yet they have this giant freaking alarm that goes off when you drop a heavy weight. That's judging you.
Totally.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I've had this conversation with many people many times, and they don't judge people, yet they put bodybuilders in their commercials and make them sound and look absolutely fucking stupid. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
Let's hit that for a second, because that bothers me. People look at bodybuilders and people that are big, like they're the age older. I
lift things up.
I will lift it up and hello. Seriously, like horses here. It's like, guy, I'll tell you this right now. People that truly are in fitness, whether they're bodybuilders or someone that's into like, CrossFit or plyo, stuff to that effect, they're probably the most educated people that you'll meet, because they take the time and they break down the science of it. Like, I'll tell you, like, just real quick, like on boxing, like people don't realize how much goes into boxing. It's not just throwing hands back and forth. Like, there's a science. It's a chess match. I'm thinking about angles. I'm thinking about how I can break into a guard, how to do the back and forth without being hurt. So it's the stuff to that effect. But like, yeah, man, I want people to come in. What I love about this club is that literally there's something for everyone. Like literally, like I can honestly say we have racquetball in there. You know what I mean? How many places around here still have a racquetball court?
Yeah, I know.
Many.
Not many.
Right?
Yeah.
Like seriously,
I know.
We have something for everyone. So it doesn't matter what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You're able to come in here. And I can honestly say this, you're not going to be judged coming in here for whatever you do. You're going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good time. You want to lift weights? Great. You want to hit pickleball? Great. You want to do lunges up and down the ramp? Great. You want to go to the CrossFit or the composite area? Great. You want to do classes? Great. Swim? Perfect. It's something for everyone, man.
And I think that's huge, because like exercise is and has been booming, and there's a lot of people out there that try to like, they talk to someone, they're like, oh, I need to add more exercise, and they try to force someone else's preferred form of exercise, and it becomes a distress for them. So like we're all talking about how this is our stress relief, but for some people it's not. But Pilates maybe, right? Or racquetball maybe, or pickleball maybe, right? So like it's still a form of exercise. So that's awesome that you ended with that as like, yeah, there's something for everyone here. It's big time.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree. Yeah, so fuck Planet Fitness.
They have free pizza though. Planet Fitness.
Yeah, which
No, I don't think they do that anymore.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
They do donuts.
I could go on
They
forever.
They have Tootsie Rolls.
They have freaking bagels too. Bagel Mondays.
Bagel Mondays.
Bagel Mondays.
Bagel Mondays. That's not even an alliteration.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's
What?
like, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, at least make it an alliteration.
Yeah.
Like
Moral of the
home.
story: if you're on the North
Meat
Shore,
Mondays.
Massachusetts, just choose choice.
That's called client
Yeah.
retention.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Oh,
Let's
man.
work out.
But I'm not
Here's
losing
a
any
yodel.
weight. That's because you have a bagel every time you leave, or a piece of pizza.
And they don't have
Right.
weights. They just have machines, right? Well, they do have.
No,
some.
they have
some.
dumbbells. They have some
got
dumbbells. They
some.
have a couple plates.
Yeah.
They have
some
no-
dumbbells.
a couple plates.
They have a
they have
couple,
Smith machines.
pairs of 5s, 10s, 15s,
They don't
and
want
then
to
they
go
got
too heavy
120,
because they don't want to attract that type of person.
25.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
all.
Not wrong.
Like even the
Yeah.
leg press that they have in there.
Well, you don't want dumb
You-
people in there, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
It just makes it brings the intellectual level down for everyone else. It makes everyone else.
They have an
dumber,
IQ
you know?
score. They got to keep
Yeah,
that up.
exactly.
I
So
moved things.
you can't have too many bodybuilders in there. Everyone else just gets dumb.
No, that's
right?
true.
You know?
That's true. Yes, that's very true. But yeah, no, I love it. So what I will say is if anybody in the area, and I cleared this with Derek before I did this podcast, so he gave me the okay. But if you're in the area and you hear about this podcast and you're like, oh, maybe I want to check out Choice Fitness, then tell them you heard about Choice Fitness on this podcast. And you can speak to anybody at the front desk. They're great, and they'll give you a 1-week trial, you know? And is there anything else that comes with the 1-week trial?
Yeah, well, first off, you'll get a tour of the club.
Yeah, you get a tour of the club.
Club. But you know what I mean? You do the 1-week trial. Once you sign up for the membership, you get a complimentary session with one of
Perfect.
our trainers to make sure you get
Great.
on the right track.
Yes.
We want to put you on the best track to be able to be successful, right? We don't want you being in the woods in the dark.
I love it. I love it. That's great. And all the trainers there are exceptional. So, and they also have a lot of cardio equipment. I found that out a couple of weeks ago.
No, this is
When I walked up there to get my filtered water.
only because he needed water and the water bubbler downstairs was being fixed.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Where can I get water?" And I
What are
said,
these
"Oh,
strange
upstairs."
machines?
He goes, "I've never been upstairs
Wait, there's stairs
before."
here?
I was like,
I was
"It's
like,
where all the
Karyssa, that place is really
treadmills are."
nice.
It's like when people come in here and they're like, "You guys have a basketball hoop?" It's like,
Yeah, it's been there.
Pretty much
Every
I'm
time.
like,
like,
Chad,
yeah.
just go
like-
upstairs, past the treadmills,
Yeah.
turn the corner, and there it is. And he goes, "Yeah, I've never been up
Yeah.
there before."
That's correct. We have a whole floor
It's a
dedicated
beautiful
to
view.
cardio.
It really is nice.
Yeah.
I want to just go up there and just stand up there, and just watch,
Yeah,
just people watch.
That's I know you right by the top of the stairs.
Yeah,
That's- That's the perch. That's where I see the whole
Oh,
gym.
it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, no, I think it's a great choice, if you will. But if you're in the area, definitely mention it to them and get in there. It's not what it used to be. It's definitely leaps and bounds than even Latitudes was. So definitely hop in there and give it a shot for sure.
Ooh, hop in there. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Plyo on over there. You know?
plyo on over there.
Don't play on my words, son. Well, thank you, Derek. I appreciate you being on the podcast, man.
It's my pleasure, my honor. Thank you.
Yeah, always my pleasure to see you. I'm sure I'll see you later. And then, if you're in the area, stop by Choice.
Thank you for joining us in the rack this week. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. You can also find us online at proformptma.com or on social media at proformptma. And remember, if you train inside the rack, you better be thinking outside the rack.